Hello everybody! So we have recently found out about the brand new episode 7 of the Digital Circus. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, Dandy's World, the update, the Christmas update, and the Amazing Digital Circus 7, episode 7 comes out on the same day, and I'm hyped. But let me point out some things that I saw in the trailer for episode 7. Now, in the trailer for episode 7, we see in the beginning, this is something that I've personally spotted out, that Kane seems to keep constantly repeating the "in today's Digital Circus episode." And let me just roll the clip. I feel like each time he seems to be getting more annoyed with whatever's going on.
Episode of the Amazing Digital Circus. On the next episode of the Amazing Digital Circus. On the next episode of the Amazing Digital Circus. On the next episode of the Amazing Digital Circus.
I seem to be the only one that's pointed out the fact that he seems even more annoyed the more and more that the trailer goes on and he says, "in today's Digital Circus episode," or whatever he says. Now, I was talking to a friend about this and they called me biased about thinking about the fact that he seems more annoyed. But moving on from Kane, let's move on to, I think, the thing that everyone is most pointed out. Let's move on to Jax. Now, in the last episode, episode 6, he seemed to have been close to abstraction when Pomni gave him a hug. He seemed for pretty much 1.1 second, he seemed like he enjoyed the hug, but then pushed Pomni off. Now, there's been so many, funny bunny ships that have probably fallen down from this, and the fact that he stares at his hand, the exact one that he pushes Pomni off when she's hugging him and when she's attacking him. Now, in the trailer, we see this image of Jax. Now, if we look closely, it seems that the rumours are true and that he was absolutely friends with Kaufmo and Ribbit. Now, people already said that he was probably going to abstract in the next episode before the trailer. And that might be true, because looking at this absolutely, and I mean absolutely, looks like he's going to abstract. Now, in all of the merchandise that we look at of any keychains, we see that some characters are in their bedrooms and or place that they are seen most. But for Jax, we see that he is not. So now that we are getting glimpses of his room, what does this mean? Does this mean that we are going to get a recording of him abstracting in his room? Anyway, moving on to something that's also been pointed out the most in this trailer. I say it goes secondly behind Jax. Pomni. I'm excited for this one because she is my favorite. Well, not really, but I like her. Supposedly people are saying that freaking Kinga and Ragatha seem to be yelling at her in this scene, so I'm going to show it. I honestly have nothing to say to that. I think Kinga is either pointing to a button for Pomni, but can't quite explain to her why he thinks about that, which is why Pomni is kind of looking... And Ragatha, I think they're having one of their moments. Yeah, I don't really have anything to say. I think that maybe something's I can't quite tell because I don't really pay attention to the scene. Now, one more thing that I want to point out is that Zooble, I'm not going to show you the photo because I cannot, for the life of me, find the photo because I've lost the image. But she just looks upset. But I'm glad that Gangle looks at least happy. But that's gonna be it for today. I hope you guys have a lovely day. Bye, sweeties!